If you work for Amazon, UPS, USPS, FedEx, or any delivery platform, I need you to watch this, because those same companies are quietly influencing a surge in a field that nobody talks about, or either they don't know about it. And if you've been subscribed to my channel for any amount of time, you know that I'm talking about the field inspection industry. Back in 2024, UPS cut around 12,000 jobs, shook the delivery industry. Just recently, January of this year, they announced another cut, but this time with a contractor called Teamsters. If you don't know, Teamsters employs around 80% of UPS's 170,000. So 80% of it will lose their jobs. There's a buyout in play, and it's only offered to around 105,000 of those contractors. The thing is, Teamsters doesn't want that buyout to be in play because it's a violation of contract. So they say. UPS is saying you don't have jurisdiction to do that. The giddy is this buyout gives those who are eligible and who accepted $105,000 or $150,000 in a severance package. They have until today, March 12th, to opt into that buyout, or they get nothing. So 80% of 370,000 workers will be out of work with no severance, nothing to do. Now, I'm mentioning this because it draws a parallel to two things. One, the unemployment rate is jumping, and it is jumping across domains and industries. First, it was mostly tech. Now it's spreading to delivery platforms like UPS. Amazon also announced another layoff in January. They're going to be cutting around 106,000 jobs. And the reason why I bring this up is that people are going to be looking for work, looking for easy work that they can do with the skills that they already have. And two, delivery platform workers already do or already have the skill set necessary to do field inspections. So all that to say, if you are a delivery driver or anyone affected by unemployment, you're not stuck. You are skilled. Your skills matter and they're transferable. You just haven't been told, or you just don't recognize the lane that you need to shift into to make more than likely a higher pay. With field inspections, that's absolutely possible. The field inspection and property preservation industry needs people who can drive. You got that. They need people who can observe. You got that. They need people who can photograph, follow instructions, have a keen attention to detail, and who can submit clean reports. That's all delivery platform drivers. That you have that skill set. That's literally the muscle memory of delivery work. So the pay can be comparable or better. I would even say better. And the work is more flexible. And there's a real path from side hustle to business owner. Because if we're keeping it real, mortgage rates are dropping. And historically, when mortgage rates drop, people believe they can afford a house. They go buy a house. What do you need when you purchase a house? Yes, you need a home inspection, but you also need other types of inspections. And those inspections, like insurance inspections, when you buy a policy from State Farm to insure the house, that's a field inspection. You need a property condition report, which is where someone goes out to check the condition of the outside of the property, not a home inspection, but a property condition report. What's there? That's a field inspection. And depending on other things that you may purchase, vehicles, motorcycles, anything that's an asset that you have a loan on requires a inspection. That's a field inspection. That's 3 inspections on one purchase, essentially. Those are all field inspections. Separate inspections, some by the same company or firm, but all 3 different lanes of pay in this industry. A lot of people don't recognize that. And in the reverse order, whenever there is an influx of home purchases with people believing they can buy a home, where their mindset is go, 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 buy, 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 months later, and I would say 6 months to 18 months, depending on where you live, those loans go into default. What do we do then? We have occupancy inspections. People are trying to refinance their homes. That's a field inspection. Unfortunately, we have bankruptcies. Those are field inspections. These are all the different types of field inspections that you see an increase or an influx in when the housing rates drop. Then on top of that, you have the seasons which affect the volume as well. Springtime is a week away. Field inspections historically ramp up during that time. Okay. The weather is not getting any better. On top of just your normal wear and tear, you have storms, you have, other damages to your homes. Those require field inspections. The spring and definitely the summer, the work explodes. So you don't need to be without income. You don't need to be without livable income. You don't need to be without sustainable income. And this is the purpose for the hub. Okay. Now, I'm not here to fearmonger. I'm simply here trying to translate what's happening into potential, in options. When big carriers cut jobs or shift volume, that ripple effect hits contractors, a warehouse staff, dispatch, gig drivers, and anybody relying on predictable routes. Also, if your manager says, we're right sizing, you need to start looking for work immediately. I'm just saying. Now, mention all the different types of inspections that there are. There are over 200. Those are just the more popular ones. There are compliance inspections. There are asset verifications, data collections, all those different types. Now, what I did not mention are door knocks. Those are the lower hanging fruit inspections that usually get paid the least. I'm talking about $5, $6. I've seen one company called Top Dog in Georgia, in Kennesaw specifically, who was offering $1 per inspection. And I know because I worked for them in a moment of desperation. $1. Do you know what type of danger you're putting yourself in to walk up to someone's home who is either behind on their mortgage or refinancing, or someone who's just not familiar with your face in the neighborhood, and you knock on their door for $1, for $5, for $10, for $15 or $20? Not worth it. There's so many unknowns and different variables that can play into your safety and risking things far more valuable than any dollar amount. Those things are not talked about, and that is the purpose of this YouTube channel. But however, let's just go into money. Let's talk about money. And I'm only going to talk about the rates that I know to be true because I've been in this field for over 15 years. So I've either touched that amount of money or I know someone who has. Okay. So let's say the average inspection is $45 per inspection. Quick Track, QUIKTRAK, there may be a C in one of those. They pay $75, $60 to $75 per inspection. Aster Room pays $60 to $75 per inspection. So 45 is on the lower end. Okay. If you do 2 inspections a day, 5 days a week, that's what, $1,800 a month before expenses. If you're laid off and you don't have any other income and you're doing this more full time, and your inspections are $55 per report, still not even the average, and you do this 3 times a day, 5 days a week, your income is $3,300 a month before taxes. If you're at a business pace where you're really getting the momentum going, you have yourself organized, you have your routes, you can knock things out, and you're doing $70 per inspection, and it's 5 a day, 5 days a week, that's $7,000 a month. I've touched $5,000 a month when I was doing it full time in Raleigh, and that was working for one firm. 13 years ago, when I started with Home Inspection Connection, I was doing 1,000 inspections per month and 100 per day, sometimes more than that. And I was doing them for a few days a month, and I was making $3,000 a month. Now, $6 per inspection is really, really low. Really, really low. But if you're messing with that low-hanging fruit, you're going to get the volume, but you're also going to tear down your car, spend a lot of money on gas, spend a lot of time from home because you'll be stuck in traffic, or whatever days you're working, you're not home, right? But it's also mental wear and tear. So these are things you have to take in consideration when you're accepting those low-paying jobs. But $4,000 to $8,000 per month is not unheard of. Four is definitely not unheard of. I did that consistently. So how to get started? Your starter kit, first of all, you're just going to need a reliable car. That is your most important asset and tool in this job. You need a reliable car, especially if you're doing this full time. And depending on where you live, you may live in a city where the streets are tore up and you're going to hit potholes or whatever, and you need to get to your destinations quick because time efficiency really matters in this position. A reliable car, a smartphone with a good camera, pictures matter. They're super important. That's the evidence of the inspection. So your pictures need to be clear. No flip phones. I don't know anybody who has a flip phone anymore, but I'm sure they do. A phone mount and things that are convenient but not required. A phone mount so that you can see your screen while you're driving. You don't need to be holding your phone. A portable charger so you have a backup charger in case your phone dies. These are things that are not required for most firms, but I would highly suggest it. A business email, because the mindset that you want to be in when doing this work is business. You want to present yourself as a business, not as a individual or a solopreneur, that's fine too, but you want to present yourself as a business. And the hub is built to help you do just that. Other things you may want to, have a vest or a polo that makes you look like a contractor. Because when you're going into these neighborhoods where they don't know you, you want to present yourself as non-threatening. And nothing says non-threatening more than a 3/4 zip up or a polo shirt, in my opinion, especially in the metro city. So polo shirt or a safety vest, a flashlight to see things that you can't otherwise see, and using your phone will be fine. Measuring tape for various reasons. Um, and a printer or scanner so that you can scan in your reports. Some companies have it all in the app. Others may have you fill out a paper and scan it in or take a picture and send it in. You want to keep copies of everything that you put your hands on. Okay. That's what a business would do. So that's what I need you to do as a business. All right. So here we are with nested objects, the front of the portal. This is the home page. Just quickly to show you evidence of these layoffs, the UPS layoffs, the 370,000, the 105,000 who are eligible, and they have until today to accept it or not. Other companies that are laying off, big tech companies like Oracle, Dow, Washington Post, Amazon, UPS. Amazon is 16,000. Okay. So it's not letting up, unfortunately. But here we are with the hub that is designed to solve all of that. It's a vendor hub, a marketplace, if you will, for field inspectors, notaries, realtors, and gig workers. Those who want, no matter your skill level or experience with this industry, from beginner to novice to advanced tech, the hub is built to train you on all of it, no matter where you're starting from. So this hub is designed to train you, not only train you, but equip you with the tools to help you present as professionally as possible and as a business. Again, because that is very, very important. It'll also give you the tools needed to hit the ground running, understanding how to organize your routes, how to take pictures, the best basic pictures to take, and intel on the firms that you're looking at. So you can find firms that only service your area or firms that service nationally. The intel gives you insider knowledge on their pay, the frequency of their pay, their ratings and reputation across the industry, and so much more. Most importantly, it gives you the direct link to apply. So with the SoFi directory, which is a paper copy list of about 150 firms, it's probably less than that. You are prompted to get the directory and reach out to those firms manually. So you have to manually pick up the phone and call them or email them. With this directory, you click on a button, submit the application. And if this firm only offers communications or contacts through email or phone, it'll let you know that. But most of them, you can click on a button and go directly to the vendor application. Right now, there are several different plans for the firm, for the vendor hub. The founder's plan, which is $37 per year, not per month, per year. I'll tell you the value in that and why it's so wild, but I'll tell you why I did that. The founder's plan will give you all of the features of the pro plan. Access to the tools, the full directory, the job tracking tool, the job board, all those different things for $37 a year. And if you renew after a year, it's still $37. So you're locked into that yearly rate forever, and you can cancel anytime. If you find 3 or 4, 10, whatever, one firm that you're sticking with and you no longer need intel on AI advancing this industry or the business at all, then you can cancel. No problem. The free plan is just a peep into or a preview into the hub. You can see about 3 firms. You can get a preview on the training, which is like one module. And then you'll see other things, but you won't have access to it. But you will have some of the resources that'll tell you more about the industry as well. So that's there. The pro, once the founder's plan goes away, the pro plan, and it offers a little bit more as far as the AI tokens for the tools. This is going to be your first monthly plan, $49 per month, and you get access to everything, including priority support, routing tools, weather tools. These are tools you will pay for separately when you get in this job, especially the routing tool. But on the pro plan, you would get that included. The elite plan, and I'll share a story with someone who was on my elite plan paying this, and they just got into Master Room after signing up with me. They got into Aster Room yesterday, and they had originally applied for Aster Room in November of last year and never got an answer. But one email to my connect, they got in. So this is what the elite plan does for you. And priority support, we had a phone call yesterday about everything that's happening, his location, his skill set, things that he's done, tips and tricks on how to advance in this industry. So that's what the elite plan does. It's a one-on-one. We become friends, essentially. But that's my passion for this business. The agency is for those businesses who are contracting or subcontracting out the work and they want to white label the platform. They can make this look like their own platform. And then if they want to charge whatever they're charging for that, that's on them, but they white label the platform. Now, to go into the directory a little bit, or the hub, let's first start with training. Not to boast, but this training module is amazing. The training portal is so thorough. And I've went through a few training portals in this industry, including like JMI. There's a free public one on mortgage something, not association, but mortgage inspections or something. It's free. A lot of lists point you to that because it's free and simple. Not nearly as detailed as this training. With this training, I wanted to be sure that you could go from beginner to veteran in one portal. So no matter where you are, you're going to learn something and you're going to be advanced when it's time for you to apply. So each module teaches you something different, and you can progress through the modules after and only after passing the previous module. Each module has a number of lessons and other features that you'll see is the YouTube video giving you a summary, and then flashcards. Okay. These are the basic things you need to know about this industry. Photo orientation rule, always landscape. Don't put people or burned in timestamps in your photos, pretending like you were there on a certain time that you weren't. Your basic 6 photos, street signs, street views, front, left side, right side, and street address. Keep verticalized. Vertical. Okay. All these are here. Okay. So those are your flashcards. Other things you'll see are scenarios, income calculator. These are accurate numbers. Do 6 inspections a day on a full time, just kind of like, breezing through 14 days, 6 inspections a day and your average pay inspection. This is the actual average of inspections in this industry. All that $5, $6, $10, $20, $25 crap, that's because you're not in this hub. So you wouldn't know that you get paid way more than this. Okay. $75, $6,300 before taxes. Do you make this doing Lyft or what's the other one, Uber or DoorDash? I know I only tip like a couple dollars on DoorDash. I ain't gonna even hold you, because why is my food always cold and they always forget something? I know that's a restaurant's fault, but why am I tipping you and I'm not even getting on my food? So $3, $4, $5, $6 sometimes. But anyway, these are averages, and then you'll see the comparison here. I'm just saying. What's some other things? Your scenarios, and then your quiz. You have to pass the quiz with at least 80% to move forward. You'll see I passed it. I passed the quiz with 100%, and I finished only 83% up because I didn't do this one. But you need to complete at least 5 lessons and then pass the quiz with at least 80% to proceed. Only then will the next module unlock. Now you'll see I have a business module in here. There's 2 of them. And then there's one on threats, like dogs, handling those type of situations, and then handling different types of inspections like the loss draft, which are really big, and then the advanced AI and advanced technical module. So you're learning everything here. That's for training. Job board. This will be updated to post jobs daily. Right now, I'm only posting it weekly because those AI calls and API requests cost. But these jobs are being pulled from 8 or 10 job boards. And when you click on apply, it'll take you to that job board. And when you click on save, it'll save this job to your pipeline. So you'll see here, you can track where those jobs are and, keep a good track of them. That's one of the tools. Let's go back to my dashboard here. Again, all of this is available in the founder's plan for a limited time, because once volume really kicks up in the platform, I'm going to have to take that promo down because the cost, the operational costs, AI costs, API costs will explode. Okay. I built this member hub, this marketplace, so that no one will have to figure it out on their own. You can literally go to the site and scroll to the bottom and see the real testimonials. I was on the fence about purchasing another list, so I listened to the webinar and decided to give it a try. Worth it. Excellent resource. To your program, admire your perspective. I appreciate your work. I like what I am seeing. Those I got through so far in the past paid peanuts. I hear that a lot. Blah, blah, blah. Highly respected, blah, blah, blah. And then if you go to Google, put in Nested Object LLC. First, you'll see the YouTube channel as well, so you can go there. But the reviews, Google don't accept bots or any kind of crazy reviews. These are actual users. I was on the fence, so I listened to the YouTube first. With a little work, I got almost instant results. Do yourself a favor and get off the fence. I don't know these people, but the one person I do know is her. I know her. She watched the webinar. So you can read those yourself. But all to say, it's not a scam, it's not a scheme or a trick, which that's a huge myth in this industry because it seems almost too good to be true. I don't know why people are so hell-bent on believing that it's a myth or it's a scam when you can literally go on YouTube and search for field inspections and see people actually in the field doing the work. And on those YouTube channels that you see, if you look at the list that they're gifting to you or selling to you for $5, it's the same 5 to 10 companies. And they're national companies that pay crap. I View It, Proxy Pick, what's the other one? Safeguard, 24 asset management, all those pay peanuts because they can. They know that they can lean, they can take a bulk of the profit because people are desperate for money. And it is such an easy job that they know people will do it and hope to make it up with volume. Your car doesn't know that. Your body doesn't know that. So again, coming into this with a business mindset is key. But anyhow, I'm going off in a tangent. There's your dashboard. Now, one thing that I am keen on and was very careful with in building this platform is being fair. So one of the biggest pain points for firms hiring in this industry is finding reliable inspectors. So in the same way that there is a rating system for firms, there is also a rating system for inspectors. That's you. Okay. Your rating is based on a number of variables. Your identity. Have you verified your identity? Have you verified your Shield ID, your background check? Have you put a picture up? Have you completed training? Okay. That's your trust score. Here's the breakdown of that. Okay. Have you finished your profile? And the reason why this is necessary is because your profile is visible to firms if you decide to publish it. That's if you decide to publish it. The members who have this access are the ones on the Pro plan. That's the $49 a month. That's not available on the Founders plan just yet. I'm thinking about releasing that, but right now it's on the Pro plan. You can see there. And what the firms will see is what you put here. So this is different from your dashboard. Your Shield ID, you put that into a field that would show here, and we verify it on the Shield ID website under the business name, and we can monitor the validity or status of your Shield ID. Back on your dashboard, you'll see other stats. You'll also see the RSS feed for industry news. This is updated almost daily. Right now, it's taking a while to load, so I'm assuming there's a lot in there. So we can go back to that. But what I wanted to get into was the actual goals, the directory. So the firm directory will give you 428 firms and show you all the things about a firm and what they're about. Here's your directory. You scroll all the way down, you'll see 428. SoFi has 150 outdated firms. Foolishness. And then you have to, like I said, manually call or email. There's no click button to the direct application link. There's no rating. There's no reviews. There's no intel. So let's just go into this one here. Here's your direct contact link. You'll see that pop up there. That's the application. No sifting through to see what's what. Okay. Here's some intel, the pay, the type of work, contractor usually, per inspection, which is typical, reputation, not only the reputation, but the reason why. So there's a review. You can leave a review, which these are verified. Okay. So we won't have no bitter inspectors in here lying on companies because they're verified on both ends. You get reviewed as well. And then you have the address and contact information for you. Now, not only that, you also have similar firms. Okay. So you don't have to keep going back to look for firms or filtering. You can just go from here. Okay. So all those are available on the firm directory. Again, $37 per year. For now. When it's gone, it's gone. I don't want no messages about, oh, I missed it because of blah, blah. I don't want to hear sob stories. $37 for a year versus $95 for a paper directory of 150 outdated firms. I'm just saying. And I do it because I'm a solutions architect by trade, but I'm in the industry as well. And seeing the labor abuse that occurs in this industry, now in the age of AI, it's so easy to find data when you know what you're doing. This is what I do at work. So to find the data and gift it to others who are getting laid off or who are just unaware of the industry and need that income, it's honestly a pleasure for me. So that's why I do it. For the membership, you don't have to use any promo code. If you were in the hub prior to the migration, You should have gotten a confirmation email saying, hey, I need you to reset your password for the new hub. Your plan carries over. So that $37 that you paid initially, it carries over and you're still locked into that for life if you renew. And then you would just, create your password and you're in. So no gatekeeping, no hiding information. The support team is available. Usually reply within 24 to 48 hours, unless you're on the priority support. Then that's you get the reply within 24 hours, most likely the same day. And then you have access to me too for VIP. So that's it for the hub for the industry. On the next video, I think we're going to talk about changes in the mortgage industry and how it impacts field inspections, because there's a boom coming and I want you to know why and how and when to jump in. All right. That's it, folks. Happy inspecting.